Hello ladies and gentlemen, it is I, JX Bermudez27, and wow, it's been a while since I last uploaded, hasn't it? Well, not counting that one My Hero Academia video, which, yeah, that didn't go too great. But anyways, a lot's happened since we last saw each other, huh? I mean, we all have this shit going on in the world right now with the COVID-19 pandemic that's keeping us all inside and a bunch of other things that I won't talk about here. But yeah, it's just been a crazy year and we're still not even done with it yet. But regardless, with this pandemic, a lot of people have had free time to do other things. Whether it be watch a show they wanted to get into, play some games on the backlog, or just find work in this hard time. Me, well, I've been doing that third thing, but I've also been playing a lot of games as well. Most notably, I've been playing quite a few mobile games that struck my fancy. And when it came to mobile games, I started to think about some of the big people in it, and the story of one of the biggest gaming companies in the world, Nintendo. Nintendo has been in the gaming market almost since gaming started to become its own medium, and ever since they tackled almost every corner of the market. Of course we've got console, handheld, arcades, and even a PC title here and there, but one market they never really touched for a really long time was the mobile market. The mobile market is without a doubt one of the biggest in gaming in recent years. Almost everyone has some sort of smartphone that's able to play these games, so it's not surprising that these games get millions upon millions of downloads for people who want to look at cute little Pikachus as they let loose a few squats. Nintendo showed a bit of interest in this kind of market that mobile had with the whole free-to-play thing, as the 3DS had a few what Nintendo liked to call free-to-start games. But it wasn't until 2016 that Nintendo truly entered the market after signing a deal with DNA to help them out. Nintendo has since been pretty consistent with their mobile output, and some of their games are some of the biggest on the stores. So let's talk about all the games Nintendo has output on phones and rank them to see which mobile game stands out on top. For this we'll be looking at a few things. 1. How fun and addicting is the game? The whole point of these phone games is that you pick one up and then you play it for hours upon hours if it strikes a chord with you. 2. How much content does the game have to offer? Is it updated enough to keep you coming back? 3. How greedy is the game? These games are free to play, but they ain't free to do everything. Some of these games have great gameplay, but their greed ruins everything from how much pocket change they ask out of someone. And 4, of course, my own personal preference. Now, let's also do a few rules and stuff. I will be talking about both Nintendo mobile games and the Pokemon mobile games. I know Nintendo aren't as involved with the other mobile titles, but Pokemon is still mostly a Nintendo property, so I imagine they still get some of the income that these games generate. And plus, if I only talked about the mobile games that were specifically Nintendo, this video wouldn't be too long. Also, on another note, I will not be talking about games that have been shut down. So no Miitomo, no Pokemon Duels, and no Pokemon Rumble Rush. These games are no longer available to play, so as a result, there's no need for me to rank them. Also, I will not be talking about apps, so no parental controls, no Nintendo Switch Online app, etc, etc. One other thing you should keep in mind is that there's at least going to be 2 more mobile games that are going to come out in the next year or so I will be giving both of these games their own videos and then put them in the rankings in those videos. Also, to be completely transparent here, I have not put in an equal amount of time into some of these games. Some of these games I was already playing and putting hours upon hours into, while some of them I legit only downloaded just so I can make this video. Some I do plan on playing now from time to time, while some of them were deleted right off my phone once I got the chance. So with that said, let's get started with number 13, Pokemon Smile. This isn't a game, this is a trick to get kids to brush their teeth. As a result, this game is as fun as brushing your teeth. Actually, you can make an argument it's less fun because of some of the things this game asks out of you. You have 2 minutes to brush your teeth, and let me just say this, that's a little too much time. I understand you're supposed to do 20 on each side, but I feel like depending on how fast you brush, you can probably get that done in probably less than a minute. Also, another thing is that this game just doesn't let you brush at your own pace. It keeps asking you to go faster and faster and faster, and sometimes you're going fast as hell, but the game still asks you to go faster. Like, game, do you want me to brush my teeth or destroy my gums? Deadass, I played one round of this game and swore it off forever because this game was just a little too much for me, with how much it kept asking me to go faster. By the time I was done, my toothbrush was red. And you may say I was probably brushing too hard, but I wasn't brushing hard because I wanted to. I was brushing hard because this game kept telling me to go faster and it wasn't stopping. I will give the game this, its art style is very cute, but that's the only thing the game has going for it. And since it's the only game on the list to cause me physical harm due to how it presents itself, and the fact that the game is nothing more than just a weird way to make kids have fun with brushing their teeth, I really can't put this game any higher than the absolute bottom. So congrats, Pokemon Smile, you made the bottom of the list. I hope you're happy. Number 12, Jump Magikarp Jump. This game honestly sounds like one of those April Fool's jokes a company would make but don't actually plan on doing. Magikarp Jump is a pet simulator where you train and range Magikarps to see if your Magikarp can be the best jumper in the world in the Jumping League. That only Magikarps can join, funnily enough. So make sure you feed that son of a bitch all the fruit and make sure that your Magikarp becomes the top percentage of Magikarps as it hops all over the competition. If that sounds good to you, then you might like this game. Truth be told, that's the thing this game has going for it. It's charming as hell, with a cute art style, cute humor that anyone can get down with, and a lot of heart. But once the charm runs out, this game is just another pet simulator. Something you turn on for a second to see how your Magikarp is doing, and then you turn off for a while because there's just nothing else to do. This game relies a little too much on whether or not you like the joke. You know the summary I gave above? If that summary didn't sound funny or appealing to you, then that's it, this game ain't for you because that's all the game has going for it. And it's not fun once you remove that charm from it. There's definitely more to this game than what I've said, but overall, it is a very what you see is what you get kind of game. Something I don't see myself playing, but hey, if you want to play it, then there's a lot of charm to keep you around. So hey, give the game the shot. It might just jump its way right to your heart. Number 11, Dr. Mario World. This game is just disappointment incarnate. A Dr. Mario mobile game was literally the easiest game Nintendo could have done. Like a game like Dr. Mario and mobile go together hand in hand and end up great most of the time on mobile. Even if the gameplay takes a change, it usually ends up well. And at first, you think that's the case for Dr. Mario World. Truth be told, as a bare game itself, it is fun. You have a limited amount of pills as you gotta drag them to the viruses. The pills can burst into 2 pieces and then you gotta use each piece wisely. As a puzzle game, it has a good concept. Maybe not what I want out of a Dr. Mario mobile game, but it's still a good concept regardless. The problem comes in execution and other flaws. This game is ruined by, you guessed it, gacha mechanics. Get used to those in these videos, trust me, they're gonna be appearing a lot. But yeah, the gacha mechanics and the heart meter are some of the worst shit that this game introduced. See that meter up there? That shit runs out quickly, and the only way you can make it go higher is either by waiting 30 minutes, and I don't mean 30 minutes for a whole refill, I mean 30 minutes per heart. But you can also use gems to make it go back up, but here's the thing about that. Gems are a finite resource and an expensive one if you run out. So if you run out of gems, you're just shit out of luck unless you're willing to embarrass yourself by asking for friends on Facebook for more hearts. Which, by the way, I never got why mobile games did that. Does anyone actually do that? Seriously, I feel like that would just make you look weird. And the gacha mechanics here just feel misplaced. I mean, this isn't the only puzzle mobile game I've ever seen with random gacha mechanics. I've seen it before. But here, the gacha mechanics just feel so tacked on when it's pretty hard to get some of this stuff and do a roll as well, since once again, you gotta use the gems. And the characters you get are just kind of ridiculous since it's mostly just the Mario veterans and a bunch of enemies. Though that also does end up being the best part of the game since it really makes you question who can be a doctor in the Mushroom Kingdom when even a damn dolphin can be a doctor. Honestly, they probably only put the gacha shit here because gacha shit sells well and they wanted to see if the charm of the Mario universe could carry the gacha mechanics here. As a result, Dr. Mario World is a fun game, but its biggest problem, ironically enough, is the fact that it's a mobile game and Nintendo went just a little too extreme with the typical mobile game trappings. But hey, if you want a fun puzzle game to pick up for a second, and I mean a second, those hearts will go down fast if you keep fucking up, then you may be satisfied with giving Dr. Mario World the occasional checkup. Let's move on. Number 10, Pokemon Quest. Does anyone remember this game? This was a game that just kind of came out, had like a week of people talking about it, and then just was that one thing that just existed. Legit, the only reason I remembered it is because Pokemon Sword and Shield had the Pokemon from this game as a background for your trainer card. Anyways, back on this game was once again an out-of-nowhere game. Just a little Pokemon action game where your Pokemon run around a field collecting items like berries and beating Pokemon along the way. You collect items so you can upgrade your Mon and ingredients to make food attract Pokemon to your base, and then rinse repeat to see if you can catch them all in an art style that looks like Pokemon meets Minecraft. Truth be told, the game is a little bit of fun, but it gets really repetitive really fast. You just keep running around in the field and getting as many things as you can to make the best food for your Pokemon to hopefully, maybe, depending on the day, join you. You can also design your base, which that is pretty cute, but other than that, this game is once again another game that you pick up for a while and then put down once all said and done. Anyways, can we talk about how this game was on Switch first and then it went on to mobiles a month later? Like, what the hell was that about? Anyways, that's Pokemon Quest. Once again, a game not really for me, but hey, if the art style seems appealing, then I don't know, maybe give it a shot. I don't know, I don't really control your life. You can do it whatever the hell you want. Number 9, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. This is a game that I'm sure has hours of fun inside of it. This game is a pretty basic Animal Crossing game that was just put onto phones. The setup is you're a villager setting up a campsite and you just want to make it look the best way you can. You can do this by doing tasks for villagers and getting your social stat up with them so that they can join your camp. The tasks are all pretty mundane, just fish the fish, collect the fruit, move the furniture, blah blah blah. Things that make this game different is crafting. Almost a full 3 years before New Horizons had it, this game allows you to craft your items with recipes you get. You craft these items with a few materials, some bells, and time. You have to wait in real time for the crafted items to stop crafting, and it can become a hassle if you're just trying to decorate your town. Doesn't help that the charm of this game does not match the charm of an actual Animal Crossing title, and it led to a game that I just had no interest in. Especially when there's plenty of Animal Crossing games that can scratch that itch better than this. Especially since New Horizons has a lot of the stuff this game introduced, and more. Pocket Camp is a fine enough game, but it suffers from being just a little too similar to products that are way better and more worth your time. But this game does have its perks, so I do have to commend it for that. So, what do I have to say about Pocket Camp? I'm just gonna go play New Horizons and then drop it for another few months. It's just the Animal Crossing tradition, alright? Let me just go on. Number 8, Mario Kart Tour. Mario Kart Tour is a funny game. It's as low as it is not because of the gameplay, but because of everything else. As a game, Mario Kart Tour is honestly fun. It's everything you could want from a mobile Mario Kart. You have items, you have the Mario characters, you have courses from throughout the series, both new and old. You have a good set of Mario characters, and even characters who have never been seen in a Mario Kart game before. You have some pretty cool alts for some of the characters, and the gameplay is probably the best you were gonna get, as you just use your finger to steer your cart left or right and keep it and hold it to keep it going. As you can expect, you can collect items as you go along, and if you get multiple of the same item, you can enter a fever mode where you have an unlimited amount of that item to just destroy your enemy, with no care in the world. God, imagine if that was in an actual Mario Kart game. We would see Smash TVs and game consoles all over the place. But anyways, all of that probably sounded alright, right? Well, it's all ruined by one thing. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Nintendo downright abused the gacha when it came to this game, and it's without a doubt one of the most greedy mobile games I've ever seen. So, you collect rubies in this game, and rubies act like the typical gacha collectible. You get them to use in the gacha, but they're not the most common things. So of course that means the game wants you to buy a few, right? Yeah, but like a lot of games, these are very expensive. It's deadass $27 just for a 10 summon, and the gacha has cards and characters and parts inside of it, so you have a low chance of getting exactly what you want, which is a thing with these games, but this game hits you hard with it. Especially since some characters and card pieces are just better in some courses than others. So some players will have an advantage from the start just cause they had better RNG in the gacha than you. I never ran into this problem too much, as I rarely had a race where it was clear that someone had something way better than everyone else, but it is still something that can happen. Now back to the summoning currency. With it being very expensive on its own, you probably expect, well, this game probably has passes, right? And yeah, it does. Passes are not uncommon for gacha games. There usually are little packs that give players goodies for a little less than what they would be charged for separately. Maybe they give a unit for a beginner to start off with, maybe they give a good sum of items to mess around with, and hell, maybe even someone who's been playing the game for a while can get these for a little mix-up to their experience. Mario Kart does this as well, but with a twist. See, in most mobile games, the packs rarely cost too much. Most of the time they're cheaper than the alternative, which is just buying the amount of currency for a 10 summon anyways. They may not give as much of an item as flat out buying it, but in exchange you get a few other things. And you only have it once, so it's all up to the player. And while here it still is all up to the player, The prices for these bitches are insane. They range from $20 to $40. There are full games with hours upon hours of content that cost less than some of these things. There was deadass a Twitter account that's whole gimmick was saying how much things cost less than Diddy Kong. And that's not the end of it either. This game has a subscription service. Gold Pass is a service where for $5 a month you can get gold items from tours, earn badges from gold challenges, and unlock 20cc for races. But like, why does this have to be a subscription? You're already asking for an arm and a leg for a bunch of other shit. Why do you have to have this on top of it? A full year of this bitch would be $60. I can do a lot with $60, and this game isn't good enough to justify all the greed inside of it. This was just a Mario Kart mobile game. It would have made bank by itself. For fuck's sake, the game got 100 million downloads in the first few days. This game would have made money. It's Mario Kart. Why did Nintendo feel the need to monetize it this much? It's honestly baffling. But hey, at least it seems like not many people fell for it, as it's nowhere close to having the most financial gain for Nintendo out of their mobile games, especially compared to how many downloads it got. But honestly, it just sucks that the game is as greedy as it is, because it honestly ruins what could have been a pretty fun game. But hey, if you can ignore the greed and control yourself, then Mario Kart Tour is still worth the checking out, if only just for the novelty of having Mario Kart on the mobile phone. But yeah, let's move on because I'm done ranting about this game. I just needed to let that all out. Number 7, Pokemon Master... Oh wait, they updated this game. Shit, I guess I have to call it Pokemon Master EX now. Or Pokemon Master Sex. Boy, I could use that last one right now. Anyways, another gacha game, huh? Get used to it, this ain't gonna be the last one. So Pokemon Masters is a collaboration between the Pokemon Company and DNA. In this game, you play as a player character and you travel around the island of Pazio, god I hope I said that right, and collect gym badges. The thing that sets Pazio apart from other places in the Pokemon world is that there are no Pokemon in that region. Yeah, no wild Pokemon, which let's just ignore all the horrible things that would happen if there was a piece of land that had no animals whatsoever. But yeah, because there's no Pokemon, there's only trainers and their sync partners. Yeah, you don't collect Pokemon in this game. Instead, you collect the trainers. No, you don't catch people in Pokeballs, but god, that would be a funny image. Instead, you collect sync pairs by rolling in this game's gacha by using the gems you get throughout the game. You also get a few sync pairs throughout the story. After you get sync pairs, you use 3 of the pairs at once in any given battle with Pokemon that are suited for the challenge that the level will throw at you. Battles take place in real time, and this little bar on the bottom is how you use your moves. Higher levels of move need more of the bar, while less value moves don't use as much. So the strategy becomes if you want to fight fast or want to fight with your best moves. After a while, a meter will build up, and when that meter is filled, you can do that trainer's sync move. You get your Pokemon stronger by battling, giving them items, and by some of the strangest ways to involve your Pokemon in any game. Here, you collect evolution materials and play a little story mode for your Pokemon to evolve. It's honestly a little odd, but hey, I guess they didn't want you blowing through the game when the Pokemon evolved normally. And with the Pokemon Master Sex update, they added some things like Champion Stadium where you can do challenges based on specific themes. You can also now upgrade some sync pairs to 6 stars. I didn't do this though because I don't care about this game enough. This game as a whole is a very like it or hate it one. You either like it enough to dedicate your time to it and all its events, or you didn't like the game for how it's laid out, how odd its mechanics are, and honestly how odd the game as a whole is. I'ma be real, I'm the latter. I didn't put too much time into this game. I didn't really like it, the gameplay wasn't for me, and honestly the weird choices that this game made honestly made me lose all interest in playing the game, and it's definitely not a game I'm gonna be playing after I'm done making this video. But hey, if you can enjoy it, then I completely understand. There's a lot to enjoy here. It just wasn't for me. But if you give it a shot and you like it, then more power to you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And plus, even with my not so high feelings on it, I can say that as a game it is better than some of the other games I've put lower on the list. Also, if you guys will allow me to go on a tangent, I just want to thank my good friend MeliArts for helping me get footage for Pokemon Master EX, since my dumbass forgot to get footage for the game after it updated, even though it was one of the main reasons that I delayed the video in the first place. Yeah, ask me how that works. I don't even know myself, I'm such an idiot. Anyways, go follow her. She is a doll, and she helped out a lot with this video, as you'll see very soon. She also does pretty good art, and she's also just a cool person all around. She's also, a very interesting person to work with, since stuff like this is something I had to deal with a lot when making this video. But yeah, go follow her. She's good. Let's move on. Number 6, Pokemon Shuffle. You know, what does it say that Pokemon Shuffle is as high as it is? Does that say more about the other games that a simple puzzle game outdid them? Or is Pokemon Shuffle just that good of a game to justify it being this high? Honestly, my answer is a little bit of both. Pokemon Shuffle is a very simple puzzle game. You set up a team of Pokemon of which you catch as the game goes on. Set the team to be best custom to the type of head, and then just match the heads until you get the best possible combo you can. It's as simple as it gets, honestly, but the Pokemon flair that this game has, along with all the typings being here, and all the Pokemon with different kinds of abilities, and the fact that this game has Mega Evolutions to make your combos and attacks power that much stronger, it really makes this game just super addicting. You can spend hours with this game, just like you can with a lot of other mobile games. And, fun fact, even though I'm counting it as a mobile game, it actually started life as a free-to-start 3DS downloadable title. Though with that said, I'll admit that this game is a lot better as a mobile game. It fits a lot more there. And I will also say that as much as I praise the game for its typings, it's not like there's much strategy since the game always has a thing where you can just get a team you want for the best type of that level. But hey, Pokemon Shuffle is still a very enjoyable game that you can spend hours on, or maybe just 30 minutes because you're bored and you're taking a shit. Either way, it's still a very fun game that I can easily recommend to any Pokemon fan. Moving on. Number 5, Pokemon Cafe. This is a game that came out of nowhere. Pokemon Cafe is the most recent of Pokemon's mobile adventures at the time of making this video, and it's a pretty simple game. Of course, the first thing that sticks out about this game is the art style, and man, it's lovely. I absolutely love the way this game looks. From the designs of the mons, the animation, it's all so cute. But as a game itself, it's nothing you've never played before. The puzzle gameplay is something akin to Yokai Watch Wibble Wobble or Disney Tsum Tsum, where you collect all the little orbs into each other to pop them, though unlike those games they don't become one big orb, rather they just come together and pop in this game. So it's more like you're just stringing the orbs together in a line to pop them. For every orb you pop, it fills the order of a customer at the cafe. As you keep going, you will hire more Pokemon for the cafe, each having a different specialty for what they can make. As you go on, you can also expand the cafe itself to take more orders and so on and so forth. Once again, it's nothing you've never played before, but it does what it does well. It's a cute and charming game that may just get you coming back for its charm alone. And hey, if the charm doesn't get you, well, you still have a decent enough puzzle game to keep you here. Pokemon Cafe gets a very warm recommendation from me. Let's move on. Number 4, Super Mario Run. The one that started it all for Nintendo's mobile adventures. Super Mario Run is an odd game, honestly. It's an auto-runner platformer where you play as your favorite Mario character and just run through a short set of levels. It's a fun little game, perfect for picking up on your phone and playing a level or two and then putting it down. And with the Remix 10 mode that was added a little while back, it has a lot to offer with over 30 sets of these remix levels. The problem comes in the fact that this game isn't a free-to-play game, where you watch ads to do more. Nope, instead it's a free-to-start game where you have 4 levels from the get-go, and most of the Remix 10, though with really long waiting lines as you get further and further into it. But you can buy the full game and unlimited access to Remix 10 with a one-time $10 purchase. Which, not gonna lie, is this game's biggest downfall. I feel like $10 may have been a little too much of an asking price here. They should have lowered it to like $5 or something. It's not like it wouldn't have made a profit. The singular downloads of this game is dead-ass 100 million. That's no small number, and while a sizable amount of people did buy the game, I feel like an even bigger amount of people would have brought it if it was just a wee bit cheaper. $10 pushes it just a little too much when there's a lot of games that I can pay $10 for. Then again, considering this is a mobile game we're talking about, spending $10 for a full game probably sounds better than paying over $20 or hell maybe even $100 for the chance of getting a sexy JPEG. So maybe I'm the weird one here. But yeah, this game is cute, it's fun, it's everything you could ask for from a mobile Mario game. Just know that if you want to play more of it, it'll cost you a few pennies, but if you're fine with that, then you have a perfectly competent game to sink some hours into. Super Mario Run gets my Bing Bing Wahoo. That joke is really corny. I'm really sorry, audience. Let's just move on. Number 3, Pokemon Go. Oh my god, Pokemon Go. Without a doubt the most popular game on this list by miles. A game that has made billions of dollars and a game that sparked the franchise into a new height. Legit, does anyone remember the glory that was Pokemon Go's original release? The crowds of people walking around, the mobs running if you said you found a goddamn Pidgey, it was insane. Surprisingly, the game didn't remain too much of a fad and it still has a lot of people playing it to this very day. Anyways, the core of this game is really simple. You just walk around and catch Pokemon, you train those Pokemon to be good, evolve them, fight in raid battles or gym. It's a pretty simple game to get into. And you can just spend hours and hours upon it just by going across your daily life. Now because of the current status of the world, it may be a little hard to do that, though the game did do some little fixes to make sure that wasn't too much of an issue, so I guess we're good. It's honestly weird how little I have to say about this game, considering this is without a doubt the biggest moneymaker on the list, if not one of the biggest moneymakers of mobile games in general, if not gaming period actually. But yeah, you probably already have this game on your phone, so just go out there and catch some Pokemon. And by that I mean wait until it's safe to go outside and just enjoy the game from home as much as you can. Stay safe and take care of yourself as we move on to the next ranking. Number 2. Fire Emblem Heroes. You know, I'm surprised this game is only number 2. Not that that's a bad placement at all, but if this video was released like 3 years ago, it would have been number 1. Heck, if it was released 1 year ago, it would have been number 1. But things happened and we'll get to that. Anyway, so Fire Emblem Heroes was a game released for mobile devices in early 2017, and it was a huge celebration of the Fire Emblem franchise as a whole. And trust me, if we're judging this game on that aspect, it gets a 10 out of 10. This game pays amazing tribute to the franchise it's based on, from the gameplay and definitely the characters. If you have a favorite character in this series, there's not only a chance that that character is here, but there's a chance that they have a ton of variants. And if your favorite character is Camilla, then congratulations, you have enough food to feed yourself for life. The gameplay is pretty much just normal Fire Emblem gameplay, just simplified. You got the weapon triangle, the magic, though you never have to worry about your weapon breaking. Thank God. Nor losing your team members. Unless you choose to do it that way, but let's be honest, why would you? So yeah, for what it is, the gameplay here is pretty great. Honestly, the only problem I have is that upgrading your heroes can be a chore since they take a lot of materials, and there's no auto grinding in this game, unlike a lot of mobile games nowadays. Okay, well, there is a auto grind thing here, but we'll get to it. There's a lot of content in this game with 3 full stories and a 4th one that's still ongoing. While I'll admit the story isn't always the most well written or the most compelling story out there, the many cameos of other Fire Emblem characters will most likely keep you engaged. Though with that said, I wish they did more with the characters other than just cameos. Like, this series has a large cast of characters and a large multiverse to explore, but this game mostly plays it safe with just having the original world of the game and the cameos of the characters within that game. But imagine how much cooler it would be if a character from other worlds actually talked and interacted. If a character from a game makes a cameo, they most likely only have interactions with characters that are from the same game as them. And I feel like mixing it up a little bit would be very interesting, but hey, maybe that's a rant for a different day. But enough about the story mode, let's talk about the other content. This game also has a bunch of paralogs, little side stories featuring characters that most likely were just added to the game, the arena where you can test your team's might against a lot of other teams, we have Aether raids, and a lot of frequent events that usually have you messing around with the heroes that were just added to the game that will all keep you coming back time and time again. Trust me, there's enough content in this game to last you for weeks, maybe months, heck, maybe even years depending on how you pace yourself. But now let's get to the less savory parts of this game. This game is a gacha game as you can expect, and truth be told, it does the gacha stuff half well and half not well. There's plenty of ways to get orbs for free, as this game gives you hundreds upon hundreds just for playing it, and events and login stamps give out way more for you to sink your teeth into. Heck, this game even has packs that, would you look at that, they are pretty decently priced. The rates can be a bit of a mixed bag, as with much gacha games, sometimes you may get a really lucky pull, sometimes you may get 6 of the same guy rotating to the point where you get tired of seeing these guys' fucking faces. This game says that every time you get a non-5-star, your chances of getting one goes up, but I call bullshit because I didn't get Awakening Anna until my 38th summon, and I didn't even get a single 5-star in that time. So So I think that may be a little bit of a lie. It's either that or I just have the worst luck in the world. It can honestly be both. But you know what? All of these problems wouldn't have prevented this game from getting #1 if this was a year ago. Alright, it's time to talk about the elephant in the room. You guys tired of hearing about it? Well, too bad. It's time for me to talk about it. It's time for me to talk about Feh Pass. Feh Pass, Feh Pass, Feh Pass. Why did Nintendo think this was a good idea? Why did they think this was necessary? Fire Emblem Heroes was already making bank. Why did they feel the need to do this? For those of you who don't know, Feh Pass is a pass that costs roughly $10 a month to get some heroes when they choose to distribute them. You also get some bonus goodies for doing quests and quality of life improvements, such as being able to support more than 2 units at a time and being able to redo your last turn if you mess something up. And an auto start feature that makes grinding and some events way easier. Why is this locked behind a paywall? If this pass cost a little less and it was an easy way to get heroes, then you know what? Maybe, just maybe I could give it a pass. But as it is right now, this is just freaking greedy. Just hiding stuff that players could use to make life easier and keep it behind a paywall? And not just a one-time paywall, a whole subscription service that costs $10 a month! A year of this would cost $120, give or take. Like, why? And not only that, if you miss the hero distribution, you have to pay $5 to get them. Like, come on, you're already asking for enough money. Why are you asking for more? It's this level of greed that lowered this game down for me, especially since it's affecting the main game. It sucks that I don't have access to things like auto starts or redos because I don't want to pay $10 a month. It sucks that I'm pretty sure rates have gone down since this pass dropped. It sucks that it has to be like this when honestly, this game was a really good game before it, and it still would have made money before it. I don't know why they thought this pass was a good idea. If anything, just adding these quality of life changes to the game without the pass would make people praise this game more and make more people want to play it. This pass is a bad idea all around. But enough about that, alright? I still enjoyed this game, and all those hours I spent on it are still very much cherished to me. But it just sucks that I cannot give this game the #1 spot because of some genuine bullshit that holds the game back. And it just sucks that it has to be like this, but you know what? Feh Pass was introduced months ago. I don't know how many people are subscribed to it, but it's here to stay, unfortunately, and at this point I don't think there's a way to get rid of it. But regardless, Fire Emblem Heroes is still a great time, and if you can ignore Feh Pass, and it's not that hard, I've ignored it for all this time now, there's a lot of stuff to enjoy here. So, if you're just a casual Fire Emblem fan, or someone who's been playing the game for years, then you know what? Go give the game a shot if you haven't already. It's a genuine, really fun time. Just, please, try your best to not waste your time and money on some things. Anyways, with all that being said, and all those games out of the way, which one ended up on top? Well, the #1 spot goes to a lovely game known as Dragaila Lost. Dragaila Lost has to be the most surprising of the Nintendo mobile games. It's the first to be a completely new IP, and it's a collaboration effort. Yep, for this game we have Nintendo and Cygames handling this, with Nintendo owning the IP, and Cygames developing the game itself. Cygames is a bit of a juggernaut for the mobile game market for how many games they have under their belt. Whether it be the game that put them on the map, Rage of Bahamut, some Idolmaster games, Shadowverse, and of course, the very popular Grand Blue Fantasy. These games have made Cygames' name in the mobile market and have shown that they know how to handle these kinds of games. And boy does it show here. Dragaila Lost is a top-down action RPG where you take your team of units that you roll from the gacha and move out as you collect dragons from the gacha that you transform into and give your enemies the beatdown with. And honestly, this is some of the most fun I've had with a mobile game in my life. The art style of both the character portraits and the game itself are both fun and bursting with charm. And with the 2.0 update, the updates look better than they ever have with the updated art style that makes some characters look so different. There's also quite a bit of content in the game with a bunch of events and a story that has 15 chapters so far with quite a bit more planned. And if you're a fan of Cygames' stuff, you'll have a treat seeing just how much of their stuff is here. Whether it be the overdrive and break mechanics from games like Grand Blue, or the design of the slimes. The fact that every character in this game has their own 5-chapter story that even fleshes them out and allows you to really get attached to the unit you pulled. And heck, some of the characters here are just straight up pulled from their other games. So if you're a Cygames fan, you'll be eating good with this one. Speaking of units though, yeah, this is another gacha game, but in terms of how it does things, it may be one of the best. First off, it has two types of summoning currency. You have Wormite that you get in the game, and you have Dynamantum, which is the one you buy. Now, if you're gonna buy Diamantum, make sure you buy packs so you get extra goodies. Buying Diamantum by itself isn't really worth it. I would know. I did a whaling session on this game once, and my wallet and my soul never felt the same again. Also, this game does have some annoying rates. You will grow to hate these little dragon things, trust me. But this game also holds the record for being one of the most generous gacha games I've ever seen. They give so much Wormite out, from quests, upgrading your heroes, watching their stories, doing other things, events, login stamps, and hell, even just playing co-op gives you Wormites, so don't be surprised if you end up having a bunch of this shit at once. Or you could be like me, who gets 1,000 Wormite and then wastes it because he got a little too trigger happy. And plus, to get back to the gameplay, it's amazing. From the action, the levels, the bosses, the co-op, everything here is just a blast to play, and grinding in this game is a breeze. As you have auto repeat, so the game plays itself while you do other things, and skip tickets, which allow you to skip levels. If the game allows you to anyways. And the game always points you in the right direction, so that way you know how to get things done easily. But as much as I've been singing this game's praises, it does have issues. One, even though I literally just talked about how grinding can be easy, it can also be a pain if the game doesn't allow for skip tickets. Even though you can still count on the AI, this only works if your units are way stronger than the mission. If they're not, the AI may not be strong enough to defeat the boss, since the AI in this game is give or take on whether or not they make the right choices. Also, they never seem to use dragons and never seem to practice caution in a stage with stage hazards, and always do some dumb shit. Another problem is that recently the game has been introducing endeavors for certain missions, and these things just break the pace, and sometimes they give vague descriptions on how to actually do them. Which makes it so if you're bursting through the story, you'll have to just randomly stop yourself to do a bunch of endeavors that probably won't mean anything in the long run. Also, there is a weapon crafting system in this game, but god, getting the materials for it can be the worst thing ever, since sometimes you're not guaranteed the material. Although with that last one, the problem's been somewhat negated with the recent 2.0 update that has made crafting way more simpler by making it a straight system of just getting the items and crafting without too much ask of the amount of materials. Man, can you tell the fact that I've been working on this video for months, and as a result I now have to contradict myself in statements that I've already made because I wrote them months ago, and now they're completely outdated because the games have now since been updated, and so a lot of the points I make now are completely irrelevant, and so my video as a result is now dated, and I've had to touch back on it so many times. This video's been a hard one to work on, so I hope you all appreciate it. Anyways, as I was saying, as much as I praise the way this game does gacha, it also still runs into the traps of a gacha, where if you have shit luck, you can spend tons of Wormite and not get anything, and trust me, when you start to dry up on Wormite, it can deadass take a while before you get enough Wormite worth giving a damn about. I would know, I've been broke in this game quite a number of times. But all that doesn't stop Dragaila Lost from being some of the most fun I've ever had with a mobile game. And it's one I pretty much play every day, at least for 10 minutes, because I love it that much. It's a little bit sad that the best Nintendo mobile game is the one where they gave development to someone who was way better at it, but hey, you know what, I'm not complaining. But yeah, Dragaila Lost is a game I recommend. Plus, you may be surprised by the friends you make, since the community of the game are all very passionate about it. Dragaila Lost just helps bring people together, through co-op, community challenges, and sometimes a simple Twitter profile picture. Which, fun fact, is actually how I met my good friend Melly, who, like I stated before, helped a lot with this video. She plays this game a lot as well, and is also the biggest Nevin stan in the whole wide world. And yes, I did have to bring that up because she would have my lungs for dinner if I didn't. But yeah, that was my ranking of the Nintendo mobile games. What'd you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Tell me in the comments below. Anyways, I plan on doing a lot more videos soon, so I hope you all look forward to them. So, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, dislike it if you didn't enjoy it, and I hope to see you soon. Also, once again, I want to give my good friend Melly Arts a shout out. She helped me a lot with this video for getting footage with both Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem, since she's much better at those games than I am. And she also saved my ass with Pokemon Masters Sex, so thank you very much, Melly. Anyways, I am JX Bermudez, and I am signing out. Actually, wait. Now that I think about it, I should probably thank Melly herself for all her help on the video. Alright, I'm gonna go do that. See you guys next video. So Melly, I just wanted to thank you for your help on the Nintendo mobile game video. If it weren't for you, that video would have never gotten done in the time I wanted it to, so thanks for your help. Also, those games in Dragaila were fun. We should do that again sometime. Don't you agree, Melly? Melly? Oh no. Oh no! What have I done?